Minnesota versus Dallas. I think that's the series conference finals that we're all excited about. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I'm a general Kyrie Irving fan and Ant-Man fan, so I'm just gonna be happy for both sides.
But I feel like with your heart, you going with Kyrie on this. Right?
Yeah, just because, like I said, with the age and has time on his side. Kyrie's like what 31, 32?
31, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, he ain't on the sunset either, but
He's still an old head for
he's an old
the
head
young
for sure.
talent going off.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to see Kyrie get his second. I really wasn't fucking with Stephen A. when he was going hard on him like during
the Israelite days.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets saga. So I want to see him, get his time and get his
prime
classic.
John Wall.
No, man.
Dog.
I remember he said we're gonna wear all black because it's a funeral.
This is like a 4-year peak that people don't talk about. Is John Wall?
Nah, he carried, bro. He carried.
But y'all saw that crazy quote he said about Steph?
What?
John Wall?
Yeah.
I saw what Brandon Jennings said. Well, Donovan Mitchell, he was out of pocket. Anyways.
I didn't see that one.
I'm gonna show you that.
He basically was just like, he said he wouldn't survive in my era, which was
played in the same era.
Played in the same era.
That's what I was like.
I was talking
about. He had to be on the strong shit. Cause
Steph was drafted a year before that nigga.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What are you talking about?
We're on the same page. I don't know what he meant by that. He literally said that shit.
I mean, too. But anyways, back to Dallas and Minnesota. So you said you're talking about Kyrie being the vet. Stephen A. Smith and media kind of crushing and vilifying him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is the first time he's been in the conference finals since the Bron era, I think, because he only played 3 seasons with Bron, right? Injured first year, so couldn't do nothing. Won in 2016, and then 2017 he lost 4-1. So yeah, this is cool. I think he's a natural shooting guard who can play make. So to have another LeBron-esque type of player with him where he can just focus on scoring. I think that's nice for him. So I'm proud of where he came. And if I always said too, if everyone was healthy, if Dallas could just avoid, in my mind, the Clippers healthy and then the Nuggets, I think they could have went to the conference finals, because just seeing Luka, I saw what he did with Brunson. You know what I'm saying? So having another bucket getter like that. With how they reconstructed that roster, they can definitely compete. So I'm happy about that. But Kyrie does get bothered a lot by size. So I'm curious to see. Well, and just on his MJ shit just came out and said post game, he's like, I'm guarding Kyrie. So I'm excited for that. So I feel like he's gonna start off on Kyrie, but I think they're gonna want to put more length on him. And I think throughout the series, Luka is actually gonna be guarded by. And I think they're going to put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie Irving. So I'm curious to see. I like the buys that they have. I like the buys that they have for those 2 stars and then the bigs. Like, Rudy Gobert, doesn't have to, especially if Max Kleber don't come back, Rudy Gobert doesn't have to worry about getting whored by a Joker type of player. So I think his team defense is definitely going to show this series more than it did last series. And I think Cat should put up his regular season numbers, and I think Naz Reid's going to play a little bit more efficient as well too. So I think they're definitely going to be well on the glass, and I think they're just going to dominate too. So in my mind, I feel like it's kind of hard to bet against. Just in the Western Conference, I feel like it's hard to bet against Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves with what they got going on right now. And I still don't know how Luka's knee is going to be, because they're going to be physical with that motherfucker too.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you beat the Suns' big 3. You beat the defending champs. I don't see why they don't, get the Dallas Mavericks out the way. So I was wilding this morning. Before I met up with y'all, I said 5, but I'm gonna give Dallas a little bit more respect, and I'm gonna say Minnesota wins in 6.
Okay.
I think that Dallas is gonna win this series.
Oh shit!
You
trying to put bread on it?
Sure.
Minnesota fans in the chat already.
Just a lunch. Just put lunch on it.
Okay.
Straight up. Okay, bet.
But I think that
this is cool.
Where y'all going?
Wherever.
Yeah, I know we figured it.
Nothing too crazy though. Just like a $20 limit. Just get some pizza or some shit.
I think that I know we kind of talked before about Ant needing to show certain things in this playoff run.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like in that last series he consistently showed me that he can take over this next series. And I especially don't, and this is like projecting even further, but say like the Wolves were to win this series, I actually wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust them in the finals either against the Celtics. I would trust Luka and Kyrie way more in the finals.
Yeah.
Because as much as, even when Luka wasn't shooting well, I feel like he's still more consistent. And honestly, we've seen him in the playoffs more and seen that he can, do certain things, and especially Kyrie.
Yeah.
And I think that also, to me, is why I'm taking them in this series. I think that they have a nice, young, deep team as well. They have the bigs that can go up against the bigs. And there really is no number 2 on Minnesota. I know it's supposed to be Cat, but like he's really, a lot of his shit is catch and shoot. Like he can get on the block and do some stuff, but
he's basically like Kevin Love with the Cavs.
Exactly. Like I feel like having a number 2 like Kyrie, that duo is way better than the duo to me of Ant and Cat. And I think that now Luka has a couple more days off. If he plays anything like how he played in every other playoffs before this one, I think that they're definitely going to win. And especially if Kyrie decides that he wants to like play well in the first and second halves, then I think that they just have a better shot in my
I mean,
mind.
He played well from a scoring standpoint. He played well in 4 out of the 7 games. And like what I said, like what I liked, because it's weird. It's not just about him. Like I just feel like the team just, obviously like their defense is great, but the team just finds a way to rally together. But he played well 4 games. One of those games, Mike Conley didn't play, and they kind of tripled him a lot, and he was forced to. He didn't know when to be aggressive versus when to play make as well too. So I think Mike Conley definitely helps with that. But I think this series we're gonna get some consistency, like even from what we saw like against Phoenix as well too. Obviously, I think Dallas is a better defensive team, but I think this series he's gonna be consistent scoring, in my opinion.
I hope.
Yeah.
I just think I for sure, for me, I trust Luka at this point. I trust Luka more than I do Ant.
Yeah, I mean you have to.
Yeah,
you kind of have to from a scoring standpoint, but. I think
definitely from of course defensively is not even a question, but
and then I'm also curious because you can argue, I mean from both sides the role players really won the series for them, but I'm still waiting for some reason for PJ Tucker and Derrick Jones Jr. to run out of luck. They've been playing extremely well,
but Derrick Jones Jr. was like he only stepped this season.
Yeah, he only really stepped up the last 2 games from a scoring standpoint, but his defense has been pretty good.
Yeah, but I think like his contributions, I feel like he can give you that, like 8-9 points. He can hit threes because he was doing it all this season. The defense is going to be there. It's PJ Washington that I feel like is definitely more of like the.
Because if PJ Washington isn't, because would y'all argue he's been their number 3?
Oh yeah,
because if he don't play well this series, they're not winning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But that's also like who's the number 3 on Minnesota? I guess Mike Conley.
It's weird. It always kind of changes because like the last 2 games you can argue was Jaden McDaniels. So I guess maybe Nas Reed. I don't know. It always changes. The pecking order.
I was gonna say Jaden.
Jaden. Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna have a good series again too.
I don't know.
He impressed me. He impressed me with the Suns series, and he turned it up a notch the last couple games. I think that's going to continue.
The Mavs aren't Minnesota, but they're a good defensive team too. Still, so that's also my thing. Is like, I just don't. It's not like they're about to be. It's not like they're about to play the Pacers. Like they're about to get a bunch of easy shots or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't just say that Jaden McDaniels is about to have a good series either, because he's about to have. If Derrick Jones isn't on him, PJ Washington is going to be on him, and he's not like. There was nobody in the Denver series like that who could be on him. Honestly.
I mean, I feel like Aaron Gordon's he had to guard.
He had to guard.
There's only some possessions where he guarded. Yeah. But I feel like he's a better defender. I think as a tandem, I think Aaron Gordon and KCP are better defenders than PJ and Derrick Jones Jr.
I feel like it's a little harder though because I think that KCP's a better perimeter defender, but those 2 are more like wing defenders.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying like more so the Jaden McDaniels point. I don't see this being all of a sudden a series where he's about to he has the ability to go off or something like that. Because he's about to still have good defenders on him.
Yeah. And the Nuggets move the ball a lot more, play more fast pace, and I feel like having Luka and Kyrie, especially Luka on there, they kind of play slower. So I feel like that's going to work into Minnesota's defense too in the half court. So that's something to definitely look out for. They're not. I feel like they're an average scoring team, but if they can get some stops and scoring transition, they are going to be tough to beat. But I'm curious to see the adjustments that Jason Kidd and what's the coach name for Minnesota? Finch make.
But it's honestly also really Mike Nori right now too.
Yeah.
Because he blew out his knee, Finch.
Mike Conley.
Insane,
I'm curious to see Luka's knee, Mike Conley's Achilles, because he had to miss a game, and now they on them that slave time. They playing every other night now.
I really don't know who to pick yet, bro. But I really feel like the thing that could go is Luka's health, bro. Like I feel like I understand your pick and what you're saying.
Physical with
but if Luka like
all that crying you saw him do, Minnesota gonna get out in trends. They got athletic. I mean, they both athletic on both sides, but they gonna get out in transition and get easy buckets. We gonna complain like that.
If we being real too, Ant was doing a whole lot of complaining in that series. He was just getting back a lot better.
I was gonna say that he was getting
also
back.
faster.
Yeah, he was getting back. It was more so like
Ant was complaining more so like almost all his calls.
Dead
he
balls,
was getting fouled too.
Dead balls, timeouts. He's arguing with the ref, but for the most part, he's getting his ass back on defense.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the stars complain. I feel like
yeah.
Luka definitely whines, and so does Jokic a lot too. The whole like he be putting his hands out to niggas all the time.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because like I'll say this. Joker has enough of an IQ where he can at least stay in front of his man if they're playing with their back to the basket, traditionally speaking. But I do like Derek Lively and Gafford matchup, guarding Rudy Gobert and guarding Naj Reid and Karl Anthony Towns.
Guarding Rudy Gobert. Not guarding.
You know what I mean? I like the big matches because like Joker's. What I'm saying, Joker's not really known for his defense.
With you, bro.
So
I'm just every time that that's why that fade. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's why that fadeaway was so big was because all throughout that series and that game, anytime he tried to create any type of offense, it looked hilarious, and he was missing every shot.
It's almost as if when you watch him, like he's never played basketball before.
Bro
it's so weird.
Bro, it was so funny because like Siobhan even noticed it like
so
as she
awkward,
watches, she's
right?
like, bro, this nigga should be on the floor. Bro. Like, no, baby, I know.
You notice that run came when they took him off the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm also happy about that. Like the coach isn't gonna live and die with him. It's like, yo, if you're not contributing, nigga, we're gonna take you off. I like that. So yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna be real interesting. But I'm curious to see the role players. So Derek Jones, PJ, and what's the light skinned dude name to come off the bench?
Oh, you talking about for Dallas?
Josh Green.
Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh Green.
It is Josh Green.
Josh Green. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do as well. So
Hardy played pretty good too this last series when they actually played him.
What's Maxi Kleber's
Tim Hardaway Jr. is still healthy, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's
up and down. He's the most inconsistent out of all of them.
You know how they be saying like someone is when they were talking about the basketball players, like he's the LeBron of this or whatever. Tim Hardaway Jr. is like the Tobias Harris of J.R. Smith's.
Oof. Damn.
Okay, like that nigga is
crazy.
Low grade J.R. Smith because he does the same shit. He just go out there and like it was one of the games I think in the first round series where he ended up scoring like 10 straight points and helped them win the game. And then the other 4 games he get out there and he just go 0 for 8. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I wonder if Rudy is actually gonna get played off the floor again.
I just see Kyrie and Luka pulling him away from that basket, bro.
Oh yeah,
over and over.
Yeah, but that's why I like that they have other versatile bigs too. So, yeah, it's gonna be a defensive masterclass, I think, and I'm looking forward to that. I think every game's gonna, because a lot of the Nuggets in Minnesota blowouts. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think this one's gonna be a lot closer. So. I'm excited, but I got Minnesota in 6. You got Dallas in how many?
I say 6.
6, and then
All
you
right,
got.
I'm gonna go Minnesota in 7.
Oh, he's just going back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Minnesota in 7.
Okay. All right. We're going to see. I think, I'm curious to see, like, the efficiency with Kyrie. And, I mean, the efficiency kind of goes out the door as playoff basketball, but, like, I'm curious to see Luka and Kyrie's efficiency this round.
But the reason why I'm not hating is I would love to see a Dallas in Boston finals. Like, I think that just from a star power perspective, that'd be great to see.
Oh, absolutely. Especially Kyrie going back to Boston. Yeah. He don't play well in Boston either, too. So that would be nice. But, yeah, I wanted to say whoever won the Nuggets and Timberwolves would not only go into the finals, but would come out the West. But the more I think about it, I think whoever comes out the West right now, I think if Porzingis is healthy, the Celtics should win it all, in my opinion. So we're going to see.
Okay.
I just don't know how good the Celtics are.
I know it's so hard to gauge. It's so hard.
They be fucking around.
But like you said, I'm just relying on the
they've
talent.
gotten, and it's not their fault. They can't do anything about it. But like
easiest,
they've gotten like one of the easiest,
easier than any Brown ones either. Like literally,
everyone injured. Yeah,
that's why I asked you earlier. I didn't even get to get your opinion on it. Like, how much does that matter? Them not being battle tested as opposed to the West Gauntlet.
I don't know. I think the only thing that might have an effect is like the fatigue thing. Like, honestly, this is a different, but like I was watching that Nugget series and it made me feel like if the Nuggets made it to the finals, they weren't going to have enough to be able to win against the Celtics because they were having to already play their dudes like to death. So I think that might be a factor, but I think that the teams left in the West are deep enough that the fatigue isn't going to be as bad. And, there's always the rest versus rust thing, but I think that as long as they don't get injured playing these extra games, like they'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool.